What's up, everyone? Welcome to the show. Happy Monday. Happy Deload week. For those of you that don't know what that is or that are new to the show, I deload every fourth week when I'm doing these at-home workouts because they absolutely kill me, and it means that we reduce the volume by 60%. So instead of doing 4 rounds this week, we're only going to be doing 2 rounds. So I know that's not 60%, I know it's 50%, but when you deload, you're meant to go down to, well, the way we do it is down to 40%. But because we're doing 4 rounds, we're going to do 2. And then we'll just do 1 round of the circuit. So this is going to be a very easy workout. And that's the intention of it. The idea is that when you deload, you go through an adaptation. You give your body the recovery time that it needs in order to adapt and develop strength, flexibility, and fitness based on all the work that you did before. But you're not meant to deload intensity if you can, if you don't have any injuries or anything like that. So what that means is we're meant to still go for the same amount of reps that we were doing before. We're meant to still try and make the exercises as hard as we did before. So for the couple of rounds that we do work in, we still want to really work, okay? All right, let us get into it. We're going to do our warm-up now. But yeah, for Unity Gym members, for people that have been doing this with us consistently, this is going to feel very easy for you, and that is the idea. It's going to be a short workout. I'm sure we'll be done in less than 30 minutes today, I'd say. Okay, here we go.
Squeeze it like it owes you money. Oh, no, sorry, I got my lines mixed up. Good morning, team. Will EP here on the mic.
Yanni's not here today, unfortunately. He's got dad duties. He's got stuff going on with his kids.
That's right. He's been held up, so it is just us, as myself on the mic. If you haven't met me, I am Will. I'm the gym manager here, and now a jack of all trades through to social media and personal coach for all our online members and trial members. In front of the camera you have Rajan Burmeister, the second best looking one here in the gym today, and of course, as always, we stick the best looking guy behind the camera. We've got Richie the Rig in the studio, producing and sending you some wicked beats. Welcome to all of our new subscribers and any first timers. We are Unity Gym. We're the only gym that does our online coaching, which helps you develop flexibility, fitness, and strength. And as Rad just mentioned, we are going through Deload week this week, which I see a lot of people in the comments are keen for. Deload week just being that all our members here, we program for 5 days a week, and our members here absolutely flog themselves for those 5 days with good form, with good technique. We never sacrifice that. And every 4th week, our body just needs a little extra time to recover. And that is where the growth and the strength comes. We don't get stronger in a session. No one ever finishes a session being able to lift more weight. It is that time to recover. It's that time to relax. And that is where the gains are made. And that's what we're doing this week. Like to say a good big warm welcome to everyone who's jumped on the channel. We've got Felixion taking up top spot. Gunnar Nelson has said g'day. Lars Jespin is back in the house. Good evening, he says. Martin Clutis is on. Patricia Sturbies, Dave Clark, Greg Gillespie, Daljit, Roy Stern, Lucy Marsh Wakefield. Hopefully Andy is following along with you as well. Vinny Brown has said, morning tribe, still Sunday here in the US, but ready to get my deload on a vacation style tomorrow by the lake. Best planning I've ever done. That sounds ideal. Good morning, Katie McDonald, Margot Sawyer, Lee Clark, Simon Morgan, Declan Lee. Arvin Tate is on the line. G'day, mate. Max Silver is here, flipping gang signs, my man. He said, at Vinny Brown, where in the US are you from? Grace Clements is on the channel. Good morning. Vinny Brown is from Rhode Island.
I found out some wonderful news on the weekend. Balmoral Beach is 4.9 kilometres from my home, so I can still legally go there. We're now in the strictest lockdown we've had since this coronavirus thing. We can't leave. We can't go more than 5 kilometres away from our homes unless it's for essential work. And apparently by the end of this month, you're going to need a permit to go more than 5 kilometres from your homes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
met up
getting-
with a friend on the weekend for a walk, for a birthday walk.
It's getting real
And,
strict over here. It's playing right into the conspiracy theorists, that's for sure.
Yeah,
They've got plenty of ammunition at the moment.
they sure do. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. A lot of people living up on the coast who travel into the city for work. I'm sure it's going to be easy enough for them to get a permit, but they still will have to get one regardless. And I
Yeah.
spoke to my mum in Bathurst on Saturday and asked if she was in lockdown, and she said no. By 5 o'clock that afternoon, she's in lockdown.
She's in lockdown, yeah.
So, shout out to all of those in lockdown, shout out to all of those not in lockdown, all the single parents out there doing the at-home schooling. I've certainly seen Yanni putting Kobe through his lessons, and that on top of work and everything else. What a mission.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough time. But that's why we do these at-home workouts. I've spoken to some of our Unity gym members recently, and some of them haven't been very good with their training, and had a few people telling me about the extra kilos that they've been putting on since they've been at home. So if you're doing these, you're doing a really good job. And I should let you guys know, so I've just finished planning phase 7, and we're going to start filming the tutorials today for it. Phase 7, we are going back to an accumulation phase, so it is going to be very challenging, but it also means that there's going to be another big increase in cardiovascular component on the Tuesdays and Friday workouts. So we're really going to, for those of you in Australia, we're going to get you absolutely buff for spring when you can't go out and go to the beach. So you'll be buff for your living room, and for the mirror.
That is what I'm talking about.
And everyone else in the world who is allowed to go out will get you buff for winter, because you guys are about to go into winter, aren't you? So doesn't
That's
that work
right.
out well?
Yeah, getting us buff for our trips to the bathroom and the living room. The two totally hot holiday destinations right now here in Australia. Good fun. Jeremy Tang has written in. He said, "Where are you from, Rad? I mean, really, where are you from?" I don't know what that means.
Yeah, knowing Jeremy, I don't know if you're taking the piss there, Jeremy, or if you're being serious, but let's presume you're being serious.
Yeah.
My dad is German, and my mum is Australian, and they met in Bali, and I was born in Denmark and given a Balinese name.
Really, you were born in Denmark?
I was born in Denmark.
I didn't know that.
I came here, I've got a Danish birth certificate, and I couldn't get a Danish passport for whatever fucking reason. But I've got a German passport because my dad's German. But I came here when I was 7 months old, so I wouldn't know. Except my name's Balinese, or Indonesian. Rajin.
Rajin. Is Yanni Balinese or just something else altogether?
Yanni's Greek.
Oh.
Yanni is Greek for John. If you ever meet a Greek man whose name's John, so is your name Yanni, and they always laugh at you and go, "Oh, how do you know that?" Because that's what it is in Greek. It is John.
There you go. I'm glad you asked, Jeremy. Learn
Cleared
anything every day.
all that up, hey? Yeah, we're ready to go. Okay, guys, I just realised I need one more of those yoga blocks. So everybody get ready, set your towels up, get yourself ready for a deloaded workout.
The stuff you can get away with on Deload Week, it's just that much more chilled. I do like to introduce my friends, anyone who asks, to our workouts on Deload Week, because it's just that little bit easier, and that first workout, you're never that sore again. And so when you're only doing 40% of it, at least most of their mental energy can go to figuring out the movements, the setup, and what's going on. So Arvin, and if you're with Zoe in the park, good morning and good luck, but don't worry, it won't be that bad.
Nah, it won't be that bad. Is that what you meant, by the way, Jeremy, when you asked where I'm from? Did I get it right? Okay.
Benny Brown has just written in and said, just want to confirm, is it true that the Phase 7 tutorials won't be available to non-online coaching folk until next week?
No. We're going to, this is the first time ever that we're actually going to be prepared before a phase comes live. Because the nature of these at-home workouts is, you know, we didn't ever plan on having a business that streamed at-home workouts every day. It was a response to having to lock our gym down and needing to support our gym members. And we've always scrambled to, like, we create this workout, we start streaming it immediately, and then I've got to film the tutorial. So that's why you guys have, in the past, always got them towards the end of the first week. But this is the first time we're going to have it all ready this weekend. So Vinny, there'll be a sale for it, like we always do. There'll be that opportunity to grab it at a big discount, you know, 70% off or 50% off, whatever we normally do it at. But that'll go live this Friday, so you'll have the opportunity, which is like Thursday for you guys over in the UK, sorry, over in America. So yes, you will have the opportunity to grab it on Thursday your time. I'm going to be filming the tutorials today and tomorrow, and we'll get them edited before the weekend.
How's that? We're going to be organising it on time.
Yeah, we're starting to get ahead with our planning of all our videography. All right, team, here we go. Only 2 rounds, so make them count, yeah? Let's make them count. Oh, shit, I need a metronome. Hang on. Yeah, sorry, guys. No slacking off on Deload week with the metronome.
Absolutely. For Deload week, gang, the only thing we cut back on is the volume. The intensity is still high. We don't want to teach our body that in Deload week it gets easier. It doth not. We just don't do as much of it.
All right, here we go, tribe.
Good morning, Paul Lou, Andy Lawson, and Peter Stefanix. Lido23 has said, can we hear a few words in German from Rad? If you listen up, you will probably get a few throughout the workout.
Sprechen Sie dick?
Straight up on Monday morning.
I couldn't resist.
Yeah. Yes,
Okay,
we're not the most family-friendly
Here we go.
YouTube channel here, but that is all right. You get what you see with us. There's certainly no fake personalities going around. Here we go, team. Remember, these are the pike push-ups. We want to stay right up on our toes. And as you push up into the air and push the hips up, we don't fall back onto our feet either. We still push up onto the toes. Yeah, Rad is corkscrewing out his hands into the ground, so the elbows are tucking in. If you're seeing the parallettes for the first time, do not worry. Rad's got a little wrist injury, so usually you just palms flat.
Sweet
Very
Jesus, I am
good.
cooked. Oh, I'm really going to enjoy this Deload week.
First set, first exercise. Richard said, I knew he'd say that. Martin Kudels has said, that's just made my morning. How good. Andy Lawson is laughing. Sprechen Sie dick. Here's something I really want to talk about. Kurt Dyer. Morning, lads. Commiserations to the Wallabies. The Bledisloe Cup goes back to the cabinet for another year. They could have used you out in the pitch on Saturday, Will. They could if they wanted to lose by more. Yes, unfortunate. What an ass whooping. But I got to say, I've never seen the Wallabies lose so, I would want to say well, but with so much like attack. Like they lost points against the run of the ball. New Zealand got a whole bunch of intercept tries.
Okay, here we go.
This is the best Australia's looked in a long time. It's the most inexperienced side. They just don't care. They are running it hard, and the attack looked really good. And so did Marika Korobete when he put a few late shots on. God, he's a weapon, that guy. But yes, congratulations to the Kiwis. 19th or 20th year in a row they've won the Bledisloe Cup. But I've never been so disappointed to see the Wallabies lose to New Zealand before, because I really did think that they had a chance. All right, with these towel pull-ups, gang, remember we want to start and finish with the shoulder blades as you come all the way down to the ground. Reach your backside to the ground, let the shoulders come all the way up to the ears, and then that first movement is depressing the shoulder blades, sending them down the back, locking those blades in and pulling. Imagine you're pulling your elbows down into your hips, down into your pockets, feeling those lats out. Good morning, Erland Kosterson. I hope you're well, buddy. Remember, guys, if you have a little bit of time in between sets, this is Deload week, so it'll be a lot easier. Please hit that like button. We've got 40 watching with 25 likes. We do want to punch that up. As always, you just keep replaying what Yanni always says in your mind. It helps us hack the algorithm. And of course, if I forget to say anything, it's on your memory. This one's been a real game changer for me in my training this last 2 months of lockdown. Also known as the couch stretch, because you can do it at home on a couch or a chair. That's all you need. But if you're sitting all day, those hip flexors do tend to get really tight. So I do this one probably 4 or 5 days a week, and I hold for a couple of minutes at a time. And then Rad's turning it up there by pulling the heel into the backside and trying to hold the heel there as he lets go with his hand.
No, I never learned how to speak German. My dad tried, and when my grandma was still alive and she used to come over and stay with us every year for about 2 months, I used to understand it. I used to be able to, I could tell what my dad and my grandma were talking about when they were having conversations, but after she passed away and Dad stopped, I never heard Dad speak it anymore. I stopped really being able to understand it.
It's good to see so many people on the in the comments chat about how keen they've been for Deload. That obviously means you guys, we're all in the same sync, we're all in the same cycle, and you're really starting to utilize everything about the program. It's not just about the exercises. We need to focus on tempo, we need to focus on intensity, but you're also getting the entire picture as well, that full 4-week cycle. Let's go. We want that forehead to come down to the ground, and as you can see, Rad's body does travel forward. We don't donk our noggin on the ground in between our hands, and push up hard into the sky. As we're going through our pike push-ups, we do not want our shoulder blades to retract. We don't want them to squeeze together. We want them to stay forward. Like you're giving someone a big hug. They are allowed to elevate and depress, but not retract. Very nice. We've got Karim on the chat, flipping thumbs up and peace signs. Very nice. Welcome, Karim.
Welcome,
If this is your first time on the channel, let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know what you're up to if you're following along or doing the workouts. It'd be good to hear from you. I hope everyone here in Sydney got to enjoy some sort of sun on the weekend. The weather was so nice, I think I almost got sunburned.
Whoa.
Certainly had the potential.
Woo. Oh, you almost popped a blood vessel in my eye on that last one. Oof.
You don't want that going into Deload week. Here we go, tribe. Really focusing on squeezing those lats. Imagine pulling the elbows down into the pockets, down to the hips. That's going to help the shoulder blades go through full elevation and depression throughout the movement. We have heard back a bit of feedback that a few of our tribe members were struggling with the grips on the towel, and even though they might be still, they have iron grip handshakes now because that grip strength has just leveled up enormously using a towel.
Whew.
Arvin Tate has written in, dead. Fantastic, that's what I like to hear. starting to finish up the second and final round of our primaries. That's why, gang, if you've got anyone that you think would like to try out these workouts, this week is a good week, especially if they haven't trained much in the past, to get them to come and check it out. It doesn't seem too daunting or off-putting, and they won't get as sore as you normally would in the first, second, or third week. Third week is absolutely the worst one for someone to come in on, unless they are a seasoned veteran in the gym or an exerciser. But if you've got any friends, please do share the link, tag them in it, and they can come along and join in these workouts without having their soul ripped from their body. And that just means they're more likely to come on back.
Change legs.
It's obviously everyone's aware of how much our phones and our computers are listening to us just in the background, and I've just seen a t-shirt that is clearly marketed towards me because I have Gym Manager on my Facebook, and it's a guy wearing a t-shirt and it has Gym Manager, noun, an individual who does precision guesswork based on unreliable data provided by those of questionable knowledge. See also wizard, magician. I think I'm going to get that stock bulk ordered. It's going to be my next party shirt.
Yeah, grab your foot. Put it in hard.
If you're new to the tribe, if you're new to our YouTube channel, just remember small steps in the right direction is better than big steps in the wrong direction, or no steps at all. We want to make sure that we are working on ourselves a little bit each day. As Yanni would say, we are working on 1% improvement each day, and this 1 hour is only 4% of your day.
Okay, set your towel up, everyone.
Getting ready for the supplementaries.
Yeah, anyone that's just tuned in, just remember, well, don't remember, I'll let you know. These parallettes aren't part of the workout. This is because I'm nursing a wrist injury. And my wrist injury is made worse when I apply pressure to my hand like that. So these parallettes, all they're there for is to deload my wrist. They are by no means an essential part of this workout or any of the at-home workouts that we do. Okay, here we go.
That's right, there aren't many times that I would recommend people to be using parallettes outside of injury. We have had a few members here in the gym, a few tribe members using them throughout their workouts for wrist injuries. The only other reason I guess I've seen recently is to help get a bit more depth through the push-up or whichever exercise you're using. Otherwise, if you are looking to go through handstands or strengthen the wrists or improve their mobility, you want them in the position on the ground as they normally would in a handstand. Otherwise, you're not working on another element that the wrists need to be able to perform in. Remember, with these push-ups, tribe, I've seen a lot of woeful attempts and excuses for push-ups, and it's because people forget about the core. Imagine a push-up is a plank first, and then you're going through that push-up motion. You can also see here Yanni is going with the metronome, with that ticking. Make sure it is slow and controlled.
You must have a link to Yanni's camera to be able to see what he's doing.
Hey?
You just said you can see what Yanni's doing. In this,
Oh, did I? Yeah. There you go. I almost called you Yanni beforehand as well.
See, that Will needs a deload even from being on the mic.
Yeah. It's draining, this stuff. It's not easy. It is good fun, though.
Here we go. Oh, all right.
These ones are an absolute killer, no matter how easy or hard you're taking them. One arm rows. Making sure you're watching out for that tempo, tribe. The tempo here is quite intricate. As you can see, Rad pulls up, 3-second pause at the top, 3-second pause halfway down, listening out for that metronome, making sure you're keeping strict, and then all the way down into the full range of movement. Keep going. Remember, tribe, this workout won't feel easy. It's just going to end sooner rather than later. That intensity is still there. It's just the volume we cut back on in deload week. You want to push yourself, tribe, because no one else is going to do it for you. A lot of people will feel that in their workouts. They need to push themselves, but sometimes it comes before the workout. Sometimes you need to push yourself to get out of bed. Sometimes you need to push yourself to be consistent with your training. Your training needs to become habit, just like any other part of your day. Work, brushing your teeth, making your bed in the morning. Making sure that this training is a part of your routine like anything else.
All right, 3 legs table.
If you need to, if you haven't watched this one before, if you want to get any tips or tricks on it or get a visual, just watch Rad for the first few and then go a little bit longer than he does. 3 legs table. We want to make sure that the hips don't shift and the upper body doesn't come off square to the ground. The hardest part here is when you're transitioning your weight between your hands and you're taking the other hand off the ground. Once it's off and you bring it behind the back, that's the slightly easier part. But we want to make sure that core is tight. Belly button is pulled in, glutes are switched on. You can see Rad is trying to shift as little as possible. Very nice.
Oh, thank God this is deload week.
Absolutely. I wish you could deload from work.
Yep.
Every 4th week. Sorry, boss. 40%. I'm going home at just before midday today.
There's a lot of talk about the way the working week needs to change, because the 40-hour working week comes from a time where there was one person that worked in a household and one person that cooked and cleaned. So the person that worked went to work with breakfast made, came home.
Yeah. Oh no.
We're out of battery.
Looks like Rad's mic has just ran out of batteries. Of course, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen this week. But I think I have heard of a few articles that have been really trying to test the norm on the 40-hour work week. I think a couple of countries are now starting to work with a 4-day-a-week work week, which would be awesome.
Wouldn't it just? All right, I think I'm back. I hope I'm back. Okay, here we go. We got our feet supported tuck L sit done.
You are back. Pushing away from the ground, tribe. Here we go. If you can, let's see if you can get your feet off the ground. Let us know if you can. Otherwise, just your tippy toes.
Ah. All right. Well done, everybody. Woo.
How good.
Yep, the idea is that should feel like a much, much easier workout than what we're used to doing. So if you have the feeling of, oh, is that it? Yes, it is. And that's the idea.
I know what you really mean. You're saying, oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But tribe, remember, do not skip the stretching. The stretching is just as much of this workout as anything else that we've already done.
Oh.
I had a Joe Rogan snippet shared with me by Declan Lee probably 2 months ago now, around the, not the invention, the discovery of coffee, and how much that shaped society when it started hitting Europe. And they say the Arabs had it since the 1200s, but Europe didn't get it till the 1600s or something like that. And America a little bit later, but basically the rest of the world got it in the same 100-year period.
Yeah.
And it completely changed everything because everyone was based off the sun.
Yeah, right.
And so, yeah, you've got this day where you got up at sunrise, you worked until sunset, and then you went home. But coffee allowed for shift working and allowed for people to work later into the evening, and then they could have day and night shifts. And the advancements in technology related to the discovery of coffee directly correlate. It was a pretty crazy chat.
Interesting.
There's also a lot of correlations between the advancements in science and maths, I think, for the Arabs in the 1200s, and they became one of the most advanced civilizations on the planet, all because they started to get this caffeine boost and it made them far more productive.
I think managing stress is one of the weakest skills in, and I'm doing this in quotation marks here, in high-performing individuals, because you only need to look at the average high performer. Like in the workspace, most high performers have really sacrificed their health, and they're not very healthy people. And then a lot of the time, people that are high performers physically or in other areas of their life, they go through ebbs and flows where they burn out and have to take lots of time off or injure themselves or whatever. And this is one of the reasons why we deload, and you know, it relates to coffee, because I think a lot of the people use coffee the wrong way. Coffee is like a borrowed energy, you know, you've got to pay it back. And a lot of people use coffee to really do nothing, to get nothing done. So they have a coffee and boom, a zing, and then they don't really do anything with it. And like a lot of the time, people are having coffees at, I don't know, 3 p.m. and then really not really doing anything. That would really require that much energy, but then that bleeds into your sleep and everything else, and it's a real, it's something that you have to be aware of. I've got a little bit of a hole in my pants, guys, so I'm going to have to do my splits this way today.
Oh, boo.
When I have my coffee, I have about three coffees all before 9 a.m. because I want to front load my caffeine, and I want that. I don't want, like when my body's starting to get tired towards the end of the day, I don't like to try to cheat that. So anybody that knows me, that works with me here, I have a sleep almost every day for about 20 minutes. When I start feeling tired, usually after lunch, have a siesta, and then no more coffee or anything after that. I want my body to be able to be detoxifying from the caffeine. It's quite different to the way a lot of people do it, but you know, you got to ask yourself, you just got to try and ask if what you're doing is working for you. And I'm far from content with the way that I manage stress and manage energy and everything. I think there's always room for improvement, but I'm so much better than I was a year ago, and I'm like infinitely better than I was 10 years ago. So it's a good thing to have a think about. Think about how you use coffee. When are you using it? Are you using it the right way? Because coffee has a half-life of 12 hours, I think it is,
Mm.
12 hours, which if you understand what a half-life is, that means that half of whatever you had is in your system 12 hours later, and then half of that is in your system another 12 hours later, and it continues like that. So I think a single shot of coffee has 30 grams of caffeine in it, and most people are having double shot coffees, most people that I know, which means you're having 60 grams of caffeine, which means if you have 2 of those and your second one is at like 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. or lunchtime, then by the time you go to bed, you're still going to have like 50 grams of caffeine in your system.
Just rolling around.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and coffee has easily become a comfort food as well now. You'll find that 3 p.m. coffee is, or can be, just because you want it, you don't need it.
Yep.
And Jeremy's just written in saying, yeah, I do a max of 4 shots a day and I have to stop by 3 p.m. And I was the same. This time last year I had a corporate gig and I would have my 3 p.m. coffee, and my sleeping was okay. But now at the moment, especially during lockdown, I have a lot more stable daily routine. I get up a little bit later. I only have my coffee, which I've finished already now, and that's the only one I have for the day. And
Really?
by the afternoons, about around 2 or 3, I'm really hanging for one. But I also finish work like 3:30, so I don't need it.
Yeah.
And I realise it's just my cravings to have one. And my sleep has gotten a lot better.
And I've found, like, because coffee is a habit and an addiction for people, you can change what the habit is, and you can have like a chamomile tea or something that's actually really good for helping you to calm down, but it's also the placebo of having that nice, brew that you can sip on and hold. And you can learn to have different types of beverages throughout the day that don't have caffeine in them. Peppermint teas as well are a really good one. And yeah, it takes a little bit of discipline. You've got to be clear on what you're trying to do and why you're trying to do it. But like my opinion, and I don't mean to sound like a zealot if I am, but I just think that life is really all about trying to better yourself, at least just by a little bit. I think we're really selling ourselves short if we're not trying to think of ways that we can improve our lives, improve our habits, improve the things that we do. And coming to the gym or doing an at-home workout like this is really just a step in that direction. Everybody decided one day, I want to be fitter and healthier, but it shouldn't stop there. We should look at all these other things that we can do, and you don't have to look at it like this massive big project that you're never going to be able to tackle. Like anything, you just look at whatever that next step is that's in front of you, and you just tackle it one step at a time. And I mean, for me, I came from drug and alcohol addiction a long time ago, and for me that was I tried to do so many things at once, but after years of failing, I realized that the biggest thing that I needed to do was just get rid of drugs and alcohol from my life. And when I was able to finally do that, it opened up the space, and it gave me the feeling of a win to be able to move on to other areas that I can tackle now. So that's another really good way to look at it, is if you feel that you've got too much going on, and if coffee seems like too big a leap for you, just think of what is the thing that you think would have the biggest win, and at all costs work on that one thing and forget everything else. Like sugar has been a really hard thing for me to give up, and at times when I've gone 0 sugar, I haven't thought of anything else with my diet. Like I've eaten as much as I want of anything as long as it's not sugar, because that becomes a win, and then you can start to reduce the amount you eat, or but if you're trying to, like, people, the reason why so many diets fail is because people try to do too much at once. They try to reduce calories, they try to remove food groups, they try to stop drinking alcohol, they try to do all this shit at once, and it's just too much. You can't do all that. So yeah, anyway. All right, team. Oh, I feel a lot better now than I did after the last 3 weeks of workouts. Thanks so much, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you tomorrow for our Deloaded Tuesday workout.
Excellent. That's Coffee Chat. Definitely had a few people writing in. Jeremy Tang would die for a good chai or turmeric latte. A lot of people talking about cutting coffee out from around 1 in the afternoon or maxing out a certain number of shots per day.
Yep.
And Lars makes a good point, just saying that it looks like his work offers free Coke Zero, and he's having 4 to 6 litres of Coke Zero every day. Been doing this for 30 years, unfortunately. Free Coke at work is like a drug. It's the exact same with coffee, mate. This chat that I was talking about with Joe Rogan talks about coffee being the most influential and powerful drug that humanity's known.
Yeah, look, if it's right in front of you like that, Lars, it is hard to beat, but it's up to you, brother. You know, the first thing, like, you have to decide whether you want to beat it. Like, is that something that you want? You know, you've been doing it for 30 years. Is it something that you want to do for the rest of your life? And if you don't, then, you know, we all have the power to change, but it goes a lot further than just saying, oh yeah, I should stop drinking Coke Zero. Like, there's more to it than that, but you can do it. And I speak from a lot of experience. I've got a really addictive personality, and I've suffered from bad addictions in the past. So I'm very proud of the decisions that I made, because if I didn't, when I look at my friends that are 43, that are my age, who didn't conquer their demons and challenge themselves on it, health-wise, they're really not in a good place right now at all. And I'm very proud that I was able to move on from that. But, you know, it requires a very clear understanding of what you want to achieve and where you want to go. And you can do it if you choose to.
Liza said, cheers, mate. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Mate, you're welcome, brother. Thanks, everyone. See you guys.
On a good note, Paul Alou has just said, joining Unity Gym has really taught me the power of consistency. Never, ever thought I'd be able to exercise 5 to 6 times a week for 7+ months. We certainly get that comment quite a bit here. Well done, Paul, and well done, Tribe. Thanks for joining us on Monday, day 1 of our Deload week, and we are looking forward to seeing you all back tomorrow. Thanks, Tribe.
Health is about performance, not just body image.
You better be willing to accept what you're going to have to do to get there.
We'll start focusing on movement goals, strength goals, flexibility goals.
When you nail that skill, it's there forever.
The body image goal doesn't get you that
It's
far.
the consistency and frequency that's going to get you there. It's not the intensity.
There's no shortcuts to mastery and movement. Destination doesn't change overnight, but your direction will.
The gym is not the place to beat up the body that you hate. It's the place to build the body that you love.
We are the gym that teaches people how to move instead of just exercise, because we believe that health is about performance, not just body image.